Hi, Rex Olson here with a quick video on using central control to set up Stream Deck with NewTek TriCaster. I have a Stream Deck that's connected to a laptop that's on the same network as the TriCaster. Now the first thing that you want to make sure of is that you're not running the Elgato software along with central control, because we want central control to be our main interface between the two systems. So we'll want to make sure that the Stream Deck software isn't running while we're using central control. We'll go to the system tray in the lower right corner and look for the Stream Deck icon. Right-click on it and quit Stream Deck. When it's installed, the Stream Deck software automatically boots when you start your computer, so we'll want to shut that off too. Let's go to Startup, Apps, scroll down the list to Stream Deck right here, and turn it off. Now we'll go ahead and start central control. First thing that we're going to want to do is add our devices. We do that in the upper left-hand corner under Add Device. And from the drop-down menu, we look for Elgato, in this case, Stream Deck XL. Hit OK. And then go back up to Add Device and look for NewTek TriCaster and hit OK. Now we have our two devices. Second step is to activate them. So for Stream Deck, we're going to click on Stream Deck, go to the drop-down, select Stream Deck XL, turn that on. And down here it tells us that we have our Stream Deck enabled. We select TriCaster, and in this case we need to give it an IP address. And to find the IP address, we go to our TriCaster under the notifications icon in the upper right and look for the IP address there. Then we're going to go back to Central Control and enter that in the IP address window. You'll also need to enter the username and password of the TriCaster. Now that that's entered, we can turn that on, and again we see at the bottom here that the TriCaster has been enabled. If there's any problem with that, the switch will flip off automatically by itself, and that'll indicate that we entered the IP address or name or password incorrectly. Now the next thing we want to do is map the Stream Deck XL to the TriCaster. So we select Stream Deck XL, select Device Mapping. Now what we'll do is a simple setup. We'll create a simple control surface on the Stream Deck for the TriCaster for the program and preview rows for the first 8 inputs on the first 2 rows of the Stream Deck. In our device mapping window, we start on button 1. We come down here under the commands column to this drop down here and select TriCaster, which gives us a whole list of commands, which I recommend you go through and explore. But we're just going to come down here to set program row. And then up in the upper right, input name is already set to input 1. We're going to turn Quick Assign on, which will automatically assign each consecutive button with the next input as we click on Add Command. So we come down here to Add Command, and then we're going to click it 8 times for the first 8 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that's assigned our first 8 buttons, 1 through 8 of the program row. Now let's go to button number 9, which is automatically selected. We'll select Preview Row, and then I'm going to come up here to the inputs and select input 1, because we want button 9 through 16 to be 1 through 8 of the preview row. So now with set preview row selected, input 1, and again with Quick Assign turned on, we're going to add command 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now with that done, I'm just going to close the device mapping panel. Now on our Stream Deck, when I push input 3, for instance, we see that our TriCaster is switching appropriately. The preview row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the program row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Next step is to set up our buttons so they resemble what we have on the TriCaster. So we're going to make the program row red as we select them and the preview row green. We'll also add the numbers as well. So back in our central control interface, we want to go to this large button here, Set Button Feedback. And since we want red for our program row, we come down here to the On function and select red for the first 8 buttons. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then for the next 9 buttons, we want our on color to be green. Again, to resemble what the TriCaster already has set up, so the feedback is the same. You can choose other colors, but I tend to go with what has already been established. And 16 green. All right? All right, so now we have our program row red. As we select through them, they're all red, and our preview row is green. All we have left to do now is to add the numbers for the buttons. So we're going to come back to this panel and go back to the first 8, and under the text field, we'll give button number 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, and so on for the first 8 buttons. And 8. And then 9, we want to start that over again. 9 is going to be 1, 10 is 2, 11 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Number 16. All right? And close that panel. So now back over on our control panel, we've got program row 1 through 8 and preview row 1 through 8 as well. Now all we have to do is save the configuration so that we can call it back up whenever we need it. And we go back to central control, and then the lower left corner, we click on the gear, select Save Project, and that brings you to the Documents folder. I've added a central control folder, and I'm going to name it TriCaster Switcher. And that's it. Now you notice I have the Stream Deck running through this laptop with central control running on the laptop. Stream Deck is plugged into this computer. It's on the same network as the TriCaster. You might be asking, but I want to plug the Stream Deck directly into the TriCaster and run it that way. There might be a way to do that. I don't know. It's not recommended. TriCaster doesn't really like external software and other things running on it. It's been optimized to run all the elements of the TriCaster. And I just find it easier anyway to run it on an external computer that's on the same network. It's easier to make changes and make updates and create other custom panels on that external computer. So there you go, very basic setup using central control. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and look for other videos as well. Thanks.